team. Go just like Hoth. Go just like Hoth. Go just like Hoth. Go just like Hoth. You need to stay off Tatooine if you can.
Everyone, Hunch here, Forever Lego Studios. Welcome to today's episode of Building Hoth, week 26. And we got a lot of progress done this week. And also, I wanted to say this last week, but I kind of forgot. And if you notice, the past couple episodes have gone out on Sundays instead of Saturdays. And usually I try to do it on Saturdays. Well, I usually end up working on Friday nights, and I have school on Friday mornings. So, if you didn't know, I try to record it on Friday night, that way I can edit the video, upload and all that, and get everything completed and done. And, well, being that's a problem, I've been had to record it on Saturday mornings. And that, of course, ups it to Sunday. So I was wondering, do you mind if would you guys like if I had the videos go up on Sunday instead of Saturday? I know that's another day weighted, but it makes it a bit easier on me because Saturday mornings I don't work. I'm pretty much open. I can basically record. So I'm going to try and do it Sundays. Hopefully you guys won't mind. But back to what I was saying. This week we got a lot of progress done. I got this section pulled out. As you can see, this area does not look the cleanest and all that. That's because I had to pull this out because I was working on the crashed Snowspeeder. I had to basically give it a more crash look. I mentioned this in last week's segment that's what I was wanting to do. I also got some work done on the mountain, which you'll see in the video, of course. And a lot of other things in the background. I'm looking at the floor for a specific reason. But I'm excited to tell you guys in the video. So I hope you all will enjoy this week's segment, and let's go right into it. Okay, guys, so this is what I've been working on this whole week. Luckily, I had Monday and Tuesday off this week in a row, so I was able to get a lot of my bulk work done on Monday and part of Tuesday. So I had plenty of time this week to actually get work done, so I got as much work as I could get done, and I think I got a pretty substantial work done, because this is pretty much done, other than, of course, switching the windshield piece to the regular piece that needs to be. Basically, what I've done is I updated the crashed Snowspeeder and all that. Before, as you can tell, it kind of looks a bit different than what it used to look like at the beginning. I had to go through it again, because, as you guys knew, I had all these plates not here the past few weeks, and I had to go off of that when I was building this. Well, now that I had it and all that, I had to fix a few things because it was a bit unstable. It wasn't completely done. And plus, of course, I had to add the little back part, basically showing that it's, I guess, skidded into place, because I didn't like the look of it, completely. I didn't like how it just looked like it nosedived in the ground. And I just wanted it to look like it actually, hit the ground and slid into place, and that's what I was able to do. I think I did a pretty good representation of it, and as well as, of course, being I did that, I kind of edited this whole area around here. Kind of gives it a very, very skinny U look, in my opinion. But basically, I don't know, I really like the look of it. I think it gives a nice little representation of a crashed Snowspeeder. Of course, again, it does kind of look a bit out of place because of the fact that I can't speak. Basically, the ground around it is a bit flat and not, amount of detail as it like this. Okay, sorry, back to what I was saying. I was called for something. So, basically, as you can see, this kind of stands out a bit because this ground looks flat and all that. Don't worry, of course it will change. Again, like I said, I'm going to have basically piles of snow up, like snow drifts, snow mounds, as well as I want to have some blaster marks in the ground, basically showing that the AT-AT shot at the ground or shot at a certain point and made a mark in the ground. So don't worry, it isn't going to look like this by itself. There's going to be mounds of snow elsewhere. But even so, even with it looking by itself, I think it looks really great. I'm really happy with how it came out. As you can see, these drifts right here, of course, this is a bit skinnier, of course, because the body of the ship or speeder is actually pushed up and the wings are facing outward. And so that's why like this area right here is built up and this isn't, because the wings of the Snowspeeder hit the ground and that's what was hitting up the dirt and the snow and all that, and it just slid into place and made this mark. And I think it's really accurate in my opinion. I think that's what I would say a Snowspeeder would look like if it like skidded in place. As well as I had to spend a long time on this because of the fact that this plate right here is actually lowered one plate, and I basically had to go back to the back part of the Snowspeeder and have to basically redesign how I had that so I can make it one plate lower. It took a bit of time. It didn't take that long, but it was a bit of annoyance. But I'm happy with how this turned out. I really like how it looks, especially next to the mock. As you can also see, this was, of course, taken out, and that big chunk right there is actually taken out. The reason for that is, of course, that this is supposed to be right there. And I had to work, I really just worked on this week, and I'm not, of course, going to lean over on my table and tried my best to work on that. That just would not work. Much more harder than it would be. So I basically just took the base plates or the sections out, which is the good thing about having these come out in sections. I've got the other sections that like go here. One's right there. That is the top corner right there. That's also thing to mention. I have a few more of these, so I was able to finish that line. For the most part, I still need like 3 1x4 bricks, I guess. But that was a little bit of progress. I've also got the other one, basically the front one in the back. Also added more white bricks because of the fact that I found some more white bricks in my collection, thank goodness. So I was able to do that a bit. Now, for one of the final things for the segment, I worked on the mountain. So I don't know if you can tell, I can kind of tell that I added more slope pieces and all that to the mountain. I don't know if you guys can, but I can because of the fact that, well, I know I put them there. But as well as it does look much better and a bit taller than what it was. So basically, this top layer right here was not there before. And I just basically added more to it. I was actually going to work a bit more on it this week because I had an idea where I was going to actually have some rebel troops on top of that mountain. Have it like a little mountain hut, or not hut, mountain sniping area. Basically having some plates on top of it and little bins and basically a little area for rebel snipers. And I was going to do that, but I ran out of time because of the fact that for the final part of the segment, I started working on the special surprise. So for the past few weeks, you guys have heard me say I am working on a special surprise. I've been saving my money. I've been saving my past few paychecks and all that. Some of you have already guessed this. Some of you already know what it is. But that special surprise was the minifig scale AT-AT Rich Boy J Walker. I finally, well, not finally, because I still have a few things I need to buy. I'm having a little trouble with that because some sellers are uppricing some of the parts, and it was a bit pricey, so I'm going through basically finding all the necessary pieces that I can get for better prices. But I have ordered like over half of the parts needed to it. Basically, I bought these instructions this week, and I've already gone through them. Fantastic job, and if you want to get the instructions for yourself, I highly recommend it. I will leave a link to brickvault.toys in the description if you want to go check it out for yourself. I highly recommend it. I'm so happy. They did a wonderful job on this, and I'm so excited to get this walker built. But basically, I got all the instructions. I transferred all the files for all the parts needed for the walker. I put that all on Bricklink, put it as my wanted list for the walker. I made a new wanted list and all that. And I bought... Okay, so I had plenty enough money to buy the whole thing. But again, I don't want to spend too much because of the fact that there's a bunch of sellers. There's one seller in particular that I did request to buy, but then canceled because he was not in States. He's international, and it was going to cost me extra because it it was like 180 something dollars, and it 180 euros, and it transferred to over $200. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go to a different one. So I'm still working on that, but I have spent a lot of money already on most of the parts needed, and I'm so excited to get them in. I've got like 2 large packages, and then I should be getting another small one soon. But what I've already started doing is, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I was looking at the floor. Basically, I've got a bunch of light gray parts that I already had that was needed for this, because I went through the part list and all that, and I'm like, I realized, oh, hey, I've got plenty of this piece. I might as well not buy this many, so I minus like what I already had. And sometimes some of the parts I already had all the amount of parts that I needed, so I just removed it. So like this one, I of course need a few hundred of these, but I've already got 100 or over 100 in this bag, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to buy more when I have a decent chunk already. So I've already started buying parts for the walker. Now, I've not bought all the parts for the walker yet, because I'm still going through that, and that's what took me so long for the past few days. So don't worry, the walker is going to be coming. I'm so stoked to get this thing in. I know originally I was actually just going to say, or ask you guys in this week's segment, saying, hey, do you guys want me to tell you the surprise and all that? But I really want you guys to get pumped for this thing. Hopefully the parts will be shipped to me soon. I know one of the sellers is international, so it might take a short bit, but hopefully it will get here and I can start at least working on the walker. I have a feeling, now I don't know if I should start when I get the parts in, if I need to start building already or wait to get all the parts in to start building. So I'm still trying to figure out that. I will figure that like later down the road. But I am so happy that most of the parts for the walker has been purchased. And I'm so excited. This is an expensive cost. It is an expensive buy, but it will be worth it. Can't wait to get it in. And that was the big surprise. So hopefully you guys will get excited for the walker. Also, don't worry. This is going to be placed back there by next segment. I think what I'm going to do is maybe prototype on some snowdrifts. I'm really thinking about doing that for next week's segment, as well as maybe working more on the mountain, giving it that more of a sniper outpost. So let me know. I'm pretty excited for next week's segment. I was really excited because I posted a few pictures on this in the Discord of E-Lug, or Empire Lug, and everyone seemed to really like it. Again, I really like how this turned out, and I'm really happy with how the Crash Snowspeeder is looking now. Much better than previously, and I want to know what you guys think of what it looks like. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this week's segment. I know it might not seem like much, especially on the mountain, but there was a lot of work done this week, especially having to redesign this whole chunk area, like from these plates right here all the way to the back. That was all completely redesigned. So hopefully you enjoyed this week's segment. Also, again, I still need a name for the Porg. I haven't found one yet. If I don't find one soon, I'm probably going to have James name it, because he says he's got a bunch of funny ones. But let me know in the comment section what you think of the progress on this week's segment. I know it doesn't seem like much because it's just the same topic I've already done. But I don't know. I really like how the mountain and the Snowspeeder is coming along. I just really love how that's looking. Of course, it is comprised of 2x2 plates and 1x1 slopes, which is cheese slopes, and then those jumper pieces. So I'm so happy with this week's progress. Can't wait for next week's segment. And if you enjoyed, definitely hit that like button. And if you're new to this channel, definitely subscribe for more episodes of Building Hoth. We've got more videos coming, and of course, let me know in the comment section what you think of how the mock's turning out to be. And I will see you guys in next week's segment. Hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.